What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about Telecaster stuff, and we're going to dive specifically into wiring choices and options. I'm actually going to put this video up on my website to help with some common questions that we get about Telecaster stuff, because we do sell a lot of Telecaster stuff. But there's always, questions in the chat on we have a little chat thing on our website where you can ask questions. And there's some common ones, which capacitors should I get? How do the kits come? What parts do I need in order to upgrade a particular Telecaster? So we'll get into that here in just a second. I was working on some stuff for this weekend's special drop, so I'll give you a little sneak preview of that, as well as I've got the parts here. So we're gonna look parts and pieces of the entire electrical system, quote unquote, of a Tele. And we'll talk about what we need when we're going to either mod one, repair one, or build one from scratch. So let's jump into it. All right, well, I might as well show you the cool stuff first. These are pickups that we've made for this weekend's drop on the website. So we've got like a tortoise pattern acrylic top with this chrome surround. It's pretty cool. We're just going to make a few sets of those. That'll be pretty neat. So that's the bridge pickup to go with it, which is pretty stinking cool. I dig that. And then the other thing we've got going, I used to make these like, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. And we used to do all clear acrylic Telecaster pickups. And so I've got the materials and the means to do it again. So that's what we're doing. So these are basically just our flat 6 pickups, Tele pickups, but in a clear situation. So yeah, those would be pretty cool. But here's the thing. A lot of folks wonder how, if you look at an entire wiring kit, so this is, let's say we've got, this is the entire electrical system for a Telecaster right here, okay? And so we've got our bridge pickup, we've got our neck pickup, we've got a switch, we've got a volume pot, and we've got a tone pot. When we're going to replace one of these things, what do we need and what are we looking for? Typically, on a Telecaster, in most situations, the volume pot and the tone pot are going to be 250K pots, and the stock capacitor is going to be a 0.015. In our kits, we use orange drop Sprague caps, not the generic kind you get on Amazon, but like the proper Sprague ones. And we use 250K CTS pots. Now, a lot of folks will ask me, what if I have a different pickup combination? If you have a P90 in the neck, if you have a humbucker in the neck, if you have a Tele Deluxe with wide ranges in it, maybe it's a made in Mexico guitar that you're upgrading the pots, then I would recommend changing your pots to 500s, which we have, and it's a drop-down option you can add. I would go up to 500 with any of those combos. If you're going to put any kind of humbucker, any kind of noiseless, any kind of P90, or any kind of wide range, I would jump both of these to 500s. You could leave this at a 0.015 cap, but I've been putting 0.033s in my humbuckers and been really enjoying that. So that's a thing. There's another thing that we need to talk about too when we're doing wiring in a Telecaster. You notice here that the wire that goes from the volume to the tone is right here. I just use this little hard wire, but there's actually no ground strap that goes from between these two knobs. Why is that? It's because this base plate right here grounds everything together, so we don't need a separate ground between here, unless you're going to mount this switch and 2 pots to either plastic or wood, something that does not conduct electricity. So if you're going to put this will actually fit in a Tele Deluxe, for example, but since you're going to put it onto a pick guard, you will not have that ground plane that is this plate. Now, if it was me, I would not rely on the foil on the pick guard. I would put a wire between your tone and your volume. So just put a ground wire between here and here, and then this will get ground through the output jack, so that's no big deal. So just connect the back to the pots from your volume and your tone, and that will ground your tone, and then now your tone will work. If your tone doesn't work for some reason, it's probably because that dude's not grounded. So if you're going to put it into a pick guard or even mount it into a wooden guitar, then I would definitely make sure you do that. Now, if you order the parts from me, if you're going to order a complete wiring kit, because we actually sell this a couple of different ways. We sell this, and we'll get to the loose parts in a minute, but we sell this as a complete kit like you see here, output jack, everything, literally attached to a control plate with the knobs, with the switch tip and everything, and you can just drop this straight into your guitar. But again, if you're going to put this on a pick guard, you have to let me know, hey, I'm going to be putting this in a deluxe, and it's going to be on a pick guard, so I'm going to need to have that extra ground wire. And I will do that for you for free. Just put a note on the order so that I know, and I will do that for you. We also sell these without the plate and the knobs and the switch. So you can use your plate and knob and switch when you replace this into your guitar, and we will give you a soldered together assembly with the output, all the wiring, and you can just drop it into the holes on your Telecaster plate. I would only caution you, however, if you're going to put this into an import guitar, these are 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch shafts, bushings on the pots, and 3/8 inch bushings on the pots. And if you have an import guitar, they'll be 7mm typically, which means you'll have to ream out the holes on your base plate, and your knobs may not fit because this is the American type. So if you are going to replace your kit on an import guitar, I would strongly recommend, especially an Asian one, strongly recommend just getting the whole shoot and match. It's like an extra 15 bucks or something, but it comes with all the stuff and you just drop it right in. So that's what I would recommend. This particular one that you're looking at is a 4-way. So we offer a 4-way switch that gives you series. So you know how a Telecaster is wired, right? So you have, typically, you have your neck pickup, then you have the middle position, which is both pickups, and then you have your bridge pickup. But in this middle position, they're in parallel, and what that does is that cuts the power in half and sends it to both pickups, more or less, because it's wired in parallel. With a 4-way switch, it adds a series, so it puts these two together, but adds them together in series instead of cuts them in parallel. Gives you kind of a big, wide humbucker kind of sound, if that makes sense. That would be the easiest way to describe that. So it is possible. Now, if you're gonna get a 4-way switch on your Tele, one of the things I would definitely recommend is put that in the notes that you want the 4-way switch. Well, if you buy the kit from us, I'll do it automatically. But if you're gonna do a 4-way switch in your Tele, if you order pickups from us, tell me that so that I can wire an extra ground on your neck pickup. If you just ground this to a 4-way setup, then when you go into that 4th position, your pickup cover will be hot and it will make noise when you touch it. So what we do is we ground the pickup coil and the cover separately in that situation to keep that separate and to make it to where it works better for you. So if you're gonna do a 4-way, tell me, hey, I'm doing a 4-way, but I'm not buying the parts from you, but on the pickups I need a 3-wire neck pickup. And we will do that. Again, there are some brands that'll charge you like 15 bucks to do that. We do it for free. So just so you know, so that's there too. All right, so let's back everything out and we'll talk about the loose parts kit. In your parts kit, anytime you order anything from us, that's why I have my thumb over this, because if you haven't ordered yet, I'm not gonna let you cheat. This is a thing you scan with your phone, and it's going to give you all the wiring diagrams for our humbuckers, for our single coils, for the wiring kit that you ordered, etc. So that's all going to be on a web page. That's all going to be available to you. So you just scan that with your phone, and Bob's your uncle. Okay, once you have that, we have this bag of parts for a Tele kit. What do we got in here? We got a pure tone jack. That's pretty sweet. Oh. Always have to have a sticker, because if you order stuff, you have to have a sticker. We have your orange drop, Sprague orange drop 0.015 cap in the stock kit. We have 2 CTS pots. Now, let's talk about the CTS pots for a second. These are under 10%, so these are very good ones. Not all CTS pots are created equal. These are excellent. They have the brass center. They are 24 spline. They have the little brass bearing in the middle. These dudes right here are really, really, really good pots. They are the regular depth. Okay, so they're not the super short ones, but they're also not the long ones, which is what you want, kind of in the middle. So they'll work in most applications. So it'll come with 2 of those. It'll come with your lock washers, your mounting washers, and your nuts. These nuts right here. It will come with your 3-way switch, and these are the proper Oak Grigsby switch that Fender uses. We don't go for any of that. The Asian stuff in the box switches and stuff, those are typically not as effective, so we do not use those. It'll come with the mounting screws and etc. Now, another thing I would like to mention is if you're going to buy loose parts and you're changing out from an Asian guitar, oftentimes on Asian guitars, this little nib right here where the switch tip goes on is a lot narrower, okay? So again, this is American spec parts, so it's possible that if you have an Asian guitar and you want to reuse the switch, reuse your switch tip, that your switch tip won't work on this. It may, it just may not. And I want to mention that ahead of time so that you know what you're looking at and what you could expect. But all this stuff comes in the tele wiring kit, then you can go ahead and solder it up yourself and save yourself a few bucks. Next level would be this without any of the plate and the knobs, or this right here. The next level after that would be that and a set of pickups together as a kit, and that can happen too. Well, hopefully that will answer some questions about tele stuff. We sell lots of tele stuff, and so there's always a lot of questions. I'm going to put this on the website, on the web pages where these products are. Even if you don't buy from me, it's okay. If you buy something from somebody else, this is not meant to just sell you a product, but just kind of educate you on what to look for. Especially if you're upgrading an Asian guitar, sometimes people will go into these things and realize they don't have all the parts they need. Okay, so I just want people to know that. That's kind of one of the reasons why we're doing it, and it'll cut down on some confusion and some frustration because you think you're going to get this all done and next thing you know, you're missing parts. So there you go. If you do want this stuff, we'll put links to it in the description. DylanTalksTone.com, you'll see it there. There's a section with tele stuff on it. And if you have any questions, get in the comments and let me know. Also, make sure you check out our Vault Drop Saturday morning at 9 a.m. We are going to have a very limited number of these, as well as the tortoise ones available, and some other cool stuff. New hat, new t-shirt, and I think, yeah, maybe something else too. Thanks for hanging out. Hit the subscribe button and the like button, and we'll see you in the next video.